RK is a student I did a mock session with on my YouTube channel. Her visa interview lasted just a minute. In this video, I will explain why her visa interview was very short. She was interviewed by a young white man. So the visa officer requested for her I-20 and passport. So the visa officer asked, "What are you going to do at Ball State University?" RK replied, "I am going to pursue my master's degree in school counseling, and school counseling is a branch in educational psychology that seeks to provide academic support to students and also cater for psychosocial and emotional needs through counseling and therapy." So the visa officer nods and said, "Okay." Here, RK clearly articulated why she wanted to pursue a master's degree in school counseling, explaining that it's a branch in educational psychology. This shows a genuine academic goal, which is essential for a student visa application. So the visa officer asked, "What gave you the passion to pursue this course?" RK replied, "I currently work as an administrator, and from my prior knowledge of psychology, I double as a guidance coach at our home international school, and I get opportunity to listen to students' problems and challenges. And sometimes they present to me difficult situations that I lack the skills to provide them with the right support." Here, the visa officer cut in. Now you can see that she tied her choice of program to her current work experience, explaining that she already serves as a guidance coach and encounters challenges in providing adequate support to students. This background underscores her need for specialized training, which adds credibility to her intent to study in the US. The fact that her family owns a school where she currently works might have indicated to the visa officer that RK has strong ties to her home country, making it more likely that she will return after her studies in the US. So the visa officer asks again, "I can see you have a deficit. Who will take care of that?" RK replied, "My dad." So the visa officer asked, "What does he do?" RK replied, "He's a businessman into the distribution of Nestle products across three northern regions in Ghana." Hi guys, welcome to today's live session. I'm very excited to have you. If you have any question, this is the best time for you to ask your questions. Um, First of all, I want to know where you're watching this from. This is very important to me. I always want to have an idea of, where people are watching this from. So please let me know where you're watching this from, and if you have any question, leave it in the chat. Now, let me say this. Okay, I get a lot of students reaching out about how they can join the mock session, and I've said it so many times. So it is very simple. All you have to do is, first of all, you have to be in the Telegram group, and then after this live session, we are going to request for details of students. So just a few details about students. So we receive the names, and then we select. This week we had about, I don't know, maybe 15 students or so, and so we try to you know kind of have equal representation depending on the countries that we have a lot of more students from, in a way. So today we have a student from Ghana, Nigeria, and then Pakistan. And I also want to say that this mock session is just for me to kind of assess the readiness of students, especially why they want to pursue the program. So I just want to hear what they have to say, more like, you know like a visa officer, right? That's why it's a mock interview. And so there is a possibility of me missing out on certain things because I don't have access to the DX160, which is an important document. But then my goal is not to look into those tiny details, but then to look at the overall picture, like the readiness of the student, like with the motivation of the motivations of the student. Also look at the credibility of the sponsor. If if a student is presenting a sponsor, then I want to know the credit. I want to see if the sponsor is credible or not. So there is a possibility of me missing out on certain things. And if I do that, please, whatever I miss, leave it in the chat so that I will read it out to the students. And yeah, ask any question that you have. Okay. And if I am not able to answer your question, then you can also go ahead and ask next week. And for those who are not selected, every week we try to select three people. If you are not selected, you can try again, right? That gives you a better chance. If you are not selected, you can also join the mock session and learn from the questions and the answers. And I have so many videos on the channel, so many visa interview videos. So you can always go ahead and then check them out. Students ask too many questions, and most of these questions have already been answered, and it's very tiring. Students are not aware that there are other students who have reached out for the same thing, right? So yeah, but it's not easy. It's not easy if you wear my shoes, you will understand that this thing takes a lot of work. That's why I want you to join the live session and ask all your questions, because some questions actually will require me to give detailed answers, which takes time. So those are some of the things. So I'm very excited to have you. I mean, I know I've said so many things, but yeah, good to have you. So okay, I told you I'm supposed to have three people, right? But I have two people, right, who joined when I went live. So yeah, the other person, yeah, if she tries to join, I'm not going to add it. This is just because there are so many people. If you are selected ahead of other people, you just have to take it seriously, right? If something comes up, you can always reach out, right, ahead of time, so that we know that okay, something came up, and then we can give you that room to be late, that kind of thing. But if you join after we've gone live, then you don't take it seriously, and it is what it is. And the instruction is always the same. You have to join 10 minutes before we go live. And we go live. So if it's like if you join, after we've gone live, it's like, nah, this is not important to you. And we deal with, serious students here. So let me start with Vivek from Pakistan. So Vivek, what are you going to study?
I'm going to study for Masters in Artificial Intelligence at Yeshua University. After spending like 4+ years as a software developer in my current company, at the company ABC, I thought that it is time for me to expand my skill set, especially in the AI, which is like penetrating in the whole world, and for which heavy research is being conducted in USA and all over the world. Yes, I'm going to study MS in AI.
Mhm. Okay, that's good. How did you hear about the school? I didn't really hear the name of the school, but how did you hear about the school?
I was suggested this school by my professor from undergrad. I asked my professor for the schools with which I should go to, and they suggested Yeshua University as one of those schools. Furthermore, I searched for my research alignment in this school. There's a professor here by the name of Professor Dr. ABC, who is conducting research in AI and veterinary sciences, with whom my research interests are aligned. Hence, I looked at this institute and reached out to the professor, and he encouraged me to apply to this program.
Okay. Who is sponsoring your studies?
My father is going to be my primary sponsor. I've also gotten a CATS Fellows Scholarship of 20,400 for the whole program. And for the first year, it comes down to $10,200, which is mentioned in my I-20. The rest of the expenses are going to be covered by my father.
What does he do?
He's a pediatrician, a child specialist who has been running his clinic successfully for the past 30 plus years. And he also has partnerships in our family business of agriculture and commodities trading, which is run by my uncles and my brother. He can easily make around and the Pakistani rupee equivalent of 35,000 US dollars from his clinic, and he makes around about 20 to 25,000 US dollars from his side income. Additionally, he has saving certificates of 7,000 US dollars.
Okay, so what do you hope to do with a degree?
In my current employment, we have started getting requests for AI related products or AI related integrations in our existing software packages. We have managed to do small scale AI integrations, but I think that I need a grounding in this field, an academic grounding and a research experience for me to develop software systems from scratch for AI. And furthermore, I think that in a few years, every knowledge worker will need to have some sort of AI skills in their arsenal, so that they will not be obsolete or left behind, especially for people in the software development field. I think that
Okay,
it
so
is
then
very.
why isn't your employer sponsoring your studies?
So my current employer is small firm, and they are not sponsoring me, but they are intent on me to come back to company to join to join after graduating from my degree and join it in a higher position.
Oh, okay, okay, that's not bad. Do you have any family in the US? Any family member?
Yes, I have two cousins in the US who are there on an F-1 visa. One is doing his bachelor's in University of Wisconsin Madison, and the other is doing his master's at Boston University.
And where are you going?
I'm going
Where?
to Yeshiva University at New York
Okay,
at
okay,
NYU.
okay. All right. So yeah, I think it sounds good to me. So you said your father is sponsoring you, but then
Mhm.
you didn't mention how much your deficit is. The whole point about mentioning your deficit is for the visa officer to feel like you know how much your father is going to spend on you, right? You mentioned that you have a scholarship of 20,000, and that has been split into two, 10,000 for each year, right? And so if 10,000 is taken out of your cost of attendance, what is your deficit that your father is covering? So I would probably say the deficit of maybe 50,000 will be covered by my father, who is, then you can give the details about your father. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay.
And
Yes,
also,
that makes
why do you want
complete
to
sense.
study the program? You mentioned, AI, your interest in AI and stuff like that. I asked I asked you, why do you need a degree? It's something that you should have brought in. It kind of gives you a stronger purpose for wanting to pursue the program. It's like, okay, you are interested in AI, but why? What will that do for you when you return? Then you talked about your company, and I think that sounded good to me actually. So then that is something you want to talk, because that explains your why. That is more like a strong motivation for you wanting to study the program. Does that make sense? So adding that
Yes.
kind of helps a lot. And you
Yeah.
saying your company is not sponsoring you, but then with the degree you go back, and then the degree will allow you to take up a higher position in the company. That is a good thing. That, in my opinion, I think that sounds good. um the description of what your father does, if it is true, then that is fine. How much is your deficit? How much
Uh,
does your father
for
have to provide?
$47,000 is my deficit, and I have provided funds of around $70,000.
Okay, so your father makes how much in a year in total, everything put together? How much does he make?
$70,000.
70,000. So he has 70,000, then he wants to spend $46,000 on you. Right. Did you say 46? 47, right?
47, yes.
So how much will remain if he's spending? Do you think your dad, because the thing is, sometimes when you look at the deficit, which is a lot like that, the visa officer is thinking, huh, if your dad is spending 47, then the remaining is probably not. Well, it depends, right? It depends on you forgive me if I
Uh,
keep forgetting. So your dad is making 90, and and he's spending 47 on you, right?
yes.
Okay,
The
so
funds that
that is
the fu-
43. So then
yes,
he would have $43,000. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you
no,
have you have the
he will have
go on.
23 now. I think if 47 he is spending, then he will have 23 remaining now.
How much does he make? You said 70 or 90?
No, no. He I've shown the funds of $70,000.
Oh, 70.
Uh,
Okay.
that
Okay,
the
then that is
funds
23.
I Yes.
Yeah, 23. So 23, in my mind I'm thinking, okay, if your father is spending $47,000 on you, and the remaining amount is 23. That's not a lot for the household because the father's expenses, like a whole lot of things. Is it really worth it spending that much on you alone? That's how I'm processing that amount that you mentioned to me. I'm just thinking, why will he do that kind of thing? Because it's more than half of his income, his annual income. If you break this amount down, it's like every month, how much is he actually going to get? Right? If you break it down, it's like every month he makes $2,000 that he's going to spend on, in the house, and $2,000 is probably not a lot because it's like a whole lot of things that he has to spend money on, right? I'm just thinking, do you have siblings?
Yes, I have three siblings.
Yeah, so it's
Two of
like your
them
three
are,
siblings.
yes,
Sorry.
two of them are employed, and one is like a dependent on my father.
Okay. So your father has one dependent, and then your wife, his wife, and he himself, his personal needs, and all of that. I'm just thinking. So the way I'm just processing. I'm just
Uh,
thinking, if you make 70,000 and your cost of attendance, your deficit is 47, will he really be willing to spend that much on you? I'm just, I don't know if you have
yes,
other plans,
yes.
but I'm just
Uh,
reasoning like a visa officer, right? That's my
uh,
only concern.
then how much should I like reflect on my console?
This is
Then,
YouTube. This is YouTube. It's a public space. If you ask me and I tell you, okay, if I tell you an amount, it's like I'm telling you to go and lie, and I'll be in trouble if I tell you to go and lie. But I'm just telling you that
but
based on what you presented to me, I am processing it that way. That okay, well, that doesn't sound too good to me in a way because
okay,
if I
okay,
were a business officer and I hear that your father makes 70,000, he's spending $47,000 on you, $20,000 for 12 months on his household. That doesn't sound too good to me. So that's just so the whole point about the mock session is for me to look into your
yes,
story
right,
and then
right, right,
point out
right.
things
I
to
got
you,
it.
and then you can work
I
on them. Yes.
I
So
understood it. Okay,
yeah, so I mean, I feel like your reason for wanting to study the program makes sense and everything, but your funding, just work on that, okay? And good luck
okay.
to you. Okay, do you have any question for me? And also, okay,
Yes.
and also the software thing that you say you're going, the AI thing. If you can mention one or two AI things that you are going to learn, right? So, like me, for instance, if I want to come to the US to learn machine learning, I can mention something like support vector machines, right? Or deep learning, that I want to learn these
Yes.
things and tie it to a
Yes.
specific need in the company. Then that kind of, because the visa officers, they want to hear technical terms. Technical terms make them feel like, oh, this guy is intelligent in a way, right? So that's what I can add to everything that you've said.
Okay.
So good luck to you. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
All
I
right.
have a question.
Okay.
I have applied to like too many universities. How do I like tell that?
So that question rarely comes. I've observed that question doesn't really come often these days. So it's not even something to worry about. But I mean, when it comes to the visa interview, some people lie, some people tell the truth. So the thing is that it doesn't matter how many schools you apply to, so long as they were not rejecting you, then it's like, then yeah, fine. If yeah, in your case, if you present to
I
me that, given that you didn't have good funding, if you present your case to me that, let's say you apply to 10 schools, and then the best that you have is what you have presented to me, I'll be like, yeah, probably you're not a legitimate student, you're not really a strong candidate in a way. That's what I will interpret that. So it's up to you. You have to decide how you want to present your story. The visa said they are not even going to see how many schools you apply to and all of that. They just want to see your motivation. Okay, why did you apply to these schools? And like, why did you apply to this many? And if you have good reasons, it's always about your reasons, right? Why you apply to those schools. But you don't want the visa officer to think that you are not an intelligent student and that you were rejected too many times. You can get one or two rejections. So let's say if I apply to five and then one school or two schools reject me, that's okay. But if, let's say, I apply to five and then four reject me, that's not a good sign, right? So that's what I'm telling you. Okay. So that's
okay.
something you have to
Okay.
work on.
Right. Right. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So good luck to you. Judith, are you here?
Hi. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Judith. So what are you going to study?
I'm going to study a master's in ocean engineering at the University of New Hampshire. I'll be specializing in seafloor characterization and coastal resilience.
Okay. Um, why do you want to study this program?
I chose ocean engineering because Lagos faces severe severe coastal erosion of up to 5 meters a year in some parts of Lagos. So during my undergraduate studies, I had classes in hydrographic surveying and coastal mapping, and these highlighted the crisis that we are facing currently. So I want to study ocean engineering so that I can develop practical solutions to address these problems that we face here in Nigeria through advanced hydrographic surveying and advanced ocean mapping techniques that I will learn.
Okay. Sometimes I listen to the questions and sometimes I listen to the answers before I give my opinion. But this one I just think. So why don't you just start by saying you want to study this program to develop practical solutions to, you know, I don't know, um, ocean erosion or whatever. So what I'm trying to say is that you started by saying in Nigeria ocean so many things, right? Why don't you go straight and say, okay, I want to study to develop practical skills in this, in solving the problem, that kind of thing. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So more like
Yeah,
switch
yeah.
those positions so that the visa officer hears the first line and it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I want to solve this. I want to learn practical skills to solve this particular problem. Then you can explain what the problem is. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, yeah.
I've never had anybody on this channel going to study ocean engineering, so that's interesting. Okay, but then what is your current job?
Oh, okay. I currently work as an intern at a pharmaceutical distribution agency. A pharmaceutical distribution.
How long have you been doing the work?
Since I graduated, that was in
When
October 2024.
when you graduate, are you not required to do NYSC? Is that how they call it? Are you not supposed to do that?
Yeah, but I got the job before I finished, so I just started working
So you run
basically.
away from NYSC.
No, I'm not. I'm not. You can like start your NYSC while you're already working, so you can just continue from that.
Okay, so that job is your NYSC.
Yeah, more or less, yes.
Yeah, then instead of saying you are intern, you just say you work there because yes, it's a job. Because intern is not really doesn't sound good to me personally. If you have graduated and you are an intern, for me, my ears, I'm like, intern. You're probably trying to get something, just say something. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'll interpret it.
Mm,
But if it's an intern and it's like NYSC, then yes, it's a job. When I was in Ghana, we call it national service. When I was a national service personnel, yeah, when I was going for my visa interview in 2016, I stated that I'm a teaching assistant. So you have to state who you are, okay? And then you
okay.
have to be very clear about your responsibilities. This is very
Okay.
important.
Why I say that is because that's the actual job description. Like that's my actual title at the office.
Yes, yes. Every national service in Ghana, national service is for 1 year. 1 year, then you are gone, or unless the company wants to retain you, which is fine. But yeah, don't use the word intern.
Okay.
Say you work there, because
Okay.
if the embassy wants to verify that information, they can verify that okay, you actually work there. That's all. Because I'm just thinking, intern doesn't really. Yeah, I would just rather go whatever. If so, like I told you, I was a teaching assistant. So when I was applying for the visa, I said I am, you know, or I was a teaching. I stated I was a teaching assistant. So in your case, you have to state who you are. You can say you are an engineer or whatever. You have to state that. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Is that job related to the program you studied during your bachelor's degree for your bachelor's?
Uh, it relates in the sense of I apply data analysis skills to it. So I analyze our pharmaceutical distribution supply chain and things like that, and our
Okay.
operations data. But in direct relation, no, not really. It's just the data science part that aligns in both my courses. But for what I'm going for, I'll be applying those data science skills to my research project that I'll be taking because it involves
Okay.
Bayesian inversion and machine learning.
Okay, it is important you try and merge them in a way to make sense because the visa says they are looking at genuine intention, genuine motivation in a way, and genuine motivation comes usually from your background related to your current job and relating that to what you're coming to study. That helps a lot. If there is a disconnect, then it doesn't mean you'll be denied, but it can put everything into question. But in your case, if I'm not correct, I think you have funding, right? You have good funding, so that
Yeah.
that that means you are not they are not going to disturb you actually.
Okay,
Um,
so my current job does not align directly, but my undergraduate studies is directly related to what I'm going to study. And I just
okay.
graduated, so that's why like I'm going directly from um graduation in November to I already start applying by then before
Mm.
I even graduated.
Yeah, it's fine in my it's fine because it's not it's more like NY because it's NYSC, so it's fine. I think it's okay. It's okay. The most important thing is that your undergraduate degree relates to that. You've not finished school, for years, and so it's okay. I think it's fine. Okay, so you talked about research. What research are you hoping to do?
Okay, my research focuses on using sonar data and machine learning to better understand how our seafloor and how we can improve it. So I'll be using data from the NOAA. Then I'll also be using Bayesian inversion and machine learning to predict the characteristics of the seafloor. In turn, predicting coastal erosion and how we can prevent it. So I'll be applying that to our Nigerian coastal systems when I return.
Okay, so but why don't you study the program in Nigeria?
Okay, because the US has advanced research collaborations. For example, my school, UNH, collaborates with the NOAA. So I'll have access to state of the art labs and also equipment. So I'll be able to put into practice the things that I'll be learning. And all those uh, all those equipment and things are not easily accessible here in Nigeria. So over there, I'll have access to those things that I can easily learn
Mm,
from and apply
okay.
here.
Okay. How do you about the school?
I discovered this school online. I was researching top ocean engineering or marine science programs that specifically offer a CAT A certificate, which is a certificate that is internationally recognized and shows highest level of technical proficiency in the field. So, University of New Hampshire is one of them. So I became interested in that, and then I submitted my application materials to the school.
Okay, so who is sponsoring your studies?
My studies is sponsored by the Center for Coastal and Ocean Mapping, which is a which is a top research center that is housed in the University of New Hampshire. So it will be fully sponsored and covers all my tuition and living expenses.
How did you get the funding?
Okay, I started by researching the program. Then I submitted my application materials, which were my SOP, my IELTS score of 7.5, my letters of recommendation. And afterwards, I had a productive interview with Dr. XXX. Then he confirmed that my interest aligned with his and that of the center, of the research center. Shortly after, I received my funding letter and my admission letter, and I accepted.
Okay, so in your first semester, do you know some of the courses you are going to take?
Yes, I'll be taking compulsory. I'll have two compulsory ocean seminars. Then I have the option to take courses in coastal engineering, underwater acoustics, and I also have geodesy as well to take.
Hmm. Okay, yeah. Everything sounds good to me. So yeah, good luck to you. Okay. Do you have any question?
No, okay, yeah.
No.
I have a sibling in the US.
Okay.
I have a sibling in the US, so
Okay.
uh,
You're worried about it.
we don't. Yeah, I'm worried about it
Your
because
your
of the home ties.
mm, your sibling. When did he or she go to the US?
My sibling is a citizen, but just moved to the US in around like 2021. So, and it's
Mm.
my younger sibling.
The person is your younger sibling. So
Yeah,
okay, because you brought so how did your sibling become a citizen and you are not?
was born there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah, it's not a problem. Just I mean, just go and be yourself. So where is your brother? Where is which state is he in?
oh, okay. My sister is in
Oh, your sister. I don't know
yeah,
why I
yeah,
was
yeah,
saying
yeah,
brother. Okay, your sister. Where is she in?
she's an undergraduate student at one of the State University of New York schools.
Okay,
She's
New York.
currently
Okay,
yeah.
New York. Yeah, just it's fine. The visa says sometimes if it's the same state, they can, but just you have funding. That funding It's a proof that a US institution believes in you so much that they want you to come and not spend anything, while you study. So that is a big deal. That is a big endorsement in a way. So in my opinion, yeah, you'll be fine. Okay. It doesn't matter. Just focus on your why and go and be yourself. The most difficult aspect was the funding. You being able to get a funding solves everything. Okay. Most of the time people without funding, they are the ones in trouble. But you haven't funding, you should be fine. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Shai.
Yeah, and also Nigerians in the recent weeks, a lot of them are put on administrative processing. I've come across a few of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but they just want to verify everything, and with your funding, everything, you should be fine. Okay, don't think about it. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let's go into the comment section. Leslie, I'm doing well. How about you? Okay, for some reasons, I don't think the chat shows here. My chat. I used to be able to show it on the screen, but yeah, these days I'm not able to. Okay, that's fine. Oluwadara, hi, watching from Oluwadara from South. Is it South Carolina? I remember Oluwadara that I interviewed before. I don't know if it's the same Oluwadara who is in. I don't know SC. I don't know what SC means. If it's South Carolina and if it's the same Oluwadara. Hajia from Ghana. Okay, Kumasi. Red Plus. Red Plus is, I think it's a supporter, right? I think so, yeah. Says, okay, from Nigeria. Okay, Life Man says, your audio is a bit down. Oh, wow, I should have. I hope it's very loud now. You asked for it, so yeah. Red Plus says, I totally forgot the exact figure of my salary I used while filling my DX160. I kept copy of each of the pages of the DX160, but I forgot to keep a copy of that page asking of the salary. What do I do? With the DX160 form, right? When you finish filling it out, don't print it page by page. You go to the last page. I have two videos on this, and each of the videos has that. You have to go to the last page and then print everything as one document, one PDF. That way you don't miss, you don't lose anything. So right now, yeah, I don't know how you can find that information, because once you've submitted it, that's all. If you want, so long as you've not gone for the interview, if you want, you can change that, right? You can, because if it comes up and they ask and then you contradict yourself, that's not good, right? So you might want to create a new one and then fill out the DX1C form again, and I have a video on how to update that and let them update it for you. If Yeah, because that's the thing about that's the thing about when you try to lie, you can be in trouble. So it's always good to be honest, and once you say the truth, it's like you don't have to forget or remember anything, because everything is the same, right? Whether you're asleep or not. Anyways, uh Christabel Sapoma Obuobi says, We can't hear what. Oh wow, how come I didn't correct this? Oh, it's one of those things. You guys, sorry about it. Okay, next time I'll check the comment section before I start asking questions. Coco, hi Coco. Hi Isa, how is everything going? Leslie says, my I-20 has my program duration to be 4 years, whilst my program is 2 years. So in the DX1, how many years do I indicate as in internal length of stay in the US? So I'll put the 4 years. You just don't want the visa also to ask you questions which are going to make you sweat, right? So stick to what is on the I-20. Kelechi, you're welcome. Adwa Ajaben says, how do you answer why change from medicine to nursing? Well, um, there is a video. Yeah, if you check the visa approval videos, one of them, okay, there's, because some of these things, it depends, right? It depends why you changing from medicine to you'd have to find a good reason, because yeah, it's case by case, and some of these things, yeah, you decided to switch, so why are you switching, right? So that's the thing. um Sign a pay says, bro, I don't have funding. What do you think I should do? Get funding. Work on getting funding. You can get funding. It takes work. If you put in the work, you get funding. Okay. So that's what I can tell you. Apart from that, there's nothing else. Don't waste your time. Okay. The the thing with students is that they want to avoid application fee because they are scared of paying the application fee and not getting any good offer. So it's like, by not paying the application fee, even if I don't get good offer, I haven't risked anything. That is a wrong way of thinking about life. If you are not willing to put in the work and risk paying the application fee, regardless of what the outcome is going to be, then you're not ready to actually travel. I've seen this a lot. So students are trying to play it safe. If you play it safe, you don't get anything. I have an interview coming up, right? Which is going to I'm going to post on Saturday. Akenton is in University of Iowa. His application fee was $100, and his program is a fully funded program. $100, a lot of people will not pay, because like $100. What if I lose out, on pay? If What if I pay and then I don't get any offer? Because you're not willing. Everybody who wants something good in life will take the risk. You have to be, but then it's not like you see and then you pay. No, you have to take your time, do your research. Once you do your research and then you realize that it's a good fit, pay the application fee. Don't think about it, pay it, but make sure you submit a good application. But students will avoid application fee and then get bad offers. Like maybe they end up with a cost of attendance of 30,000 or 50,000 without any scholarship, without any funding. That one, they are willing to spend over $500 to process the visa, hoping that they will come and get funded. What are you doing? You are willing to risk going for the interview without funding, and even if you are approved, you are willing to come without funding and come and suffer, or what? But paid application fee, they say they won't do it. I don't understand. So right now, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for students, because when I came back, I was this guy trying to, advise students, do this, do, but I realized that you cannot advise people. They know what they are doing, and they just wouldn't listen. They are not willing to put in the work. They are not willing to risk anything. So it's like, okay, fine. What can I do? Nothing. Do whatever makes you happy. So that's what I can tell you. Students are not willing to spend time looking at good videos. No, they don't want that. They want full scholarship fake videos. That's what they want. So me, I'm tired of trying to convince you to, learn the truth, because you think somebody will make a video full scholarship, no SAT, and you are quick to click because you think that it's easy. You think it's so you people do whatever makes you happy. Okay, me, right now, I've realized that, and I'm not trying to chase fame or trying to please anybody. No, no, no. I think I have understood some of these things very well. That you students, you just don't want to listen. So it is what it is. Alicia says, "Hello, Shai. Please, on my DX1 student from the course of study, what do I put there? On my 28 is econometrics and quantitative economics, but on my admission letter is MA economics. So what? Yeah, can you just put, you know, both of them have economics. So you can go with economics. It's fine. When you go, you just say it's economics. The visa officer is not going to have an issue because there is still economics on it, right? If you want, you can still go with the one on the I-20. If you want to play it safe, go with the one on the I-20. Okay. Josephine Eddie says, "Hello, please. I graduated from high school in 2024 September, and I've been home preparing for my interview. In case they ask me what I've been doing, what do you think it's wise for me to do? Wise for me to say?" So the thing is, you people, you come to me, you have stayed home for 1 year. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem. But the other thing is, you come to me and then I don't know if you want me to lie, tell you to go and lie on you. I'm on YouTube, a public space. You want me to go and tell you to go and lie, or what? The thing is that if you know me very well, I don't like to lie. I like to say it as it is. So even when I'm lying, I'm struggling. I will struggle to lie. So if things are not right, create the right condition for yourself so that you don't have to lie. Okay, that's what I can tell you. Red Plus says, "I didn't lie. Actually, I later added I don't know if you mean your family's automobile business. I make monthly to my retail pharmacy business." So Red Plus, then just add the two together, right? So you know where the different components of your annual income come from. So put the two together, right? If you want to take something out, then you can subtract what you need to subtract out, right? Then that is straightforward. Or is it that you are not sure whether you added it or you didn't add something? Then okay, then that will be okay. I guess that's what's going on. Yeah, so don't worry if there's nothing you can do about it. Create a new one, right? Or just go like that. And yeah, if it comes up, you can explain yourself. Once the visa officer hears the two figures, the visa officer will understand. Okay, this is why this figure is not the same as what you are saying. You can actually explain yourself. People think the visa officers, they don't give people chance to talk. No, I don't think so. Everybody, if you are making sense, they will let you talk. That's my opinion. That people that have coached, that's what I think. Right? If you don't know what you are saying, you are confused, you are just, the visa officer will not allow you to talk. Or if you have answered the question fully, like first question, where are you going? If you say I'm going to ABC University to pursue a master's degree in this, then that's all. Then the visa officer can come in because you've answered the question already. But if some visa officers, they will not cut in, they will let you continue. Then you can go ahead and then tell the visa officer why the university or why the program and all these things. Okay. So it depends. Um Kelechi says, I got denied and I have 80% tuition scholarship going for bachelor's degree in nursing. Do you think I should apply again by June? Yeah, I mean, I feel like 80% tuition scholarship, that's not bad. But then also 80% scholarship, tuition scholarship. What about your living expenses? How much is that? And who is sponsoring you? Are they capable? Do you have documents that show that they are willing to sponsor you, right? So some of these things, it is not yes or no. Students come to me and they want me to give them yes or no, but a lot of these things, it's not yes or no. I sometimes I want people to understand that in life there is nothing like good or bad. Even emotions, emotions are good and they are bad. It depends on how much emotions you show. If it's a bad emotion, you want to show little of it. If it's a good emotion, you want to show more of it, but you don't want to show full emotion, right? Something like anger, you want to show a little bit of anger, because you cannot be always, without any anger. No, no, anger will drive you to do what, to do better. So everybody needs a bit of anger. Everybody needs a bit of envy, not so much envy, just a little bit of envy, not to make you want to work hard in a way, not to compete with somebody or anything, no, but a little bit of that, right, to make you want to work harder, that kind of thing, to be your best version. So you need a bit of that. When it comes to good emotions, something like love, you want to love people, but then at the same time, you cannot love somebody and then lose yourself, or you cannot make somebody a priority and then end up messing up your life, right? Because you have to love yourself more before you can love somebody. Because if you don't love yourself more, the person will not even love you, no matter how much you love the person. So whatever emotion it is, you need a little bit of it. Depends on whether it's good or bad emotion. Then you need some level of, or some amount of that. So in life, there is nothing good or bad. There is nothing like yes or no, general. No, no. Some of you, the questions you ask me, no, it doesn't work like that. It depends on the details. Okay. So when you ask me a question and I'm not able to tell you yes or no, you have to understand that there are gray areas, right? It's not like yes or no all the time. One or two things, yeah, there can be yes or no, but in most cases, it's not like yes or no, right? Everything is nuanced in a way if you think about it. Okay. All right. So Joel says you cannot be given what you don't work for. Shall I tell them? Some of us have spent a lot on application fees. Yes, Joel, that's how it is, right? Emmanuel says my first interview was denied due to immediately. Okay, I think you are trying to say you presented a loan letter and then you were immediately denied. Okay, I have booked another appointment, but this time I'll be sending mark statement for my uncle. Any tips, please? Me, when you come to me with a situation like this, the only tip I have for you, you will not like it. The only tip I have for you is that forget about all this uncle, all those things, and go and work hard and get funded, get good funding, and come. That's my advice for you. But it's not what you want to hear too. That's the problem, because this uncle, there is a good chance you are even going to get a statement from somebody. You are going to pay for such statements. You are going to spend money on the process. The money that you spent when you use the loan to go and be denied, if you had invested that money very well, over $500, if you had invested that money very well, application fees and all of that, you have gotten a good offer and be approved and then come. Sometimes it's not even just the money you are wasting, but also the time. Some of you think the time is always okay. Well, I understand. I told you guys before that 1 hour in the US is not the same as 1 hour in Africa, right? In Ghana, for instance, 1 hour, people do so many things. They don't really pay attention to the time. Time is nothing for most people in Ghana, right? Here in the US, every minute counts. So then maybe that's why I am always trying to tell you guys that time is important, right? All right. So let's keep going. So Emmanuel Shen says, Shai, I've gotten my I-20, but I'm waiting for funding too. Can I proceed with the DS1C forms while waiting for the funding? This one, it depends. You decide what you want to do, right? If you know, you want to go for the interview, of course, you can go ahead and fill the DS1C form. Fill the DS1C form is free, right? So you can go ahead and do it. But then if you want to proceed to book an appointment, then you have to be very careful, because you book an appointment only if you know, come what may, you are going to go for the interview. Then yeah, why not? So these are things you have to think about it very well. Uh Caleb, this name I always say Caleb, but they say Caleb. Caleb says, "See you soon, Shy." Okay, yeah, I mean, see you soon. um, Kelechi says, "My dad is sponsoring me." Okay. Chidima says, "Hello, the program name on my admission letter is Professional Science Masters Biomanufacturing and Biotechnology. However, biotech is written on my 20. Please, which should I fill on the DS1C? You can go with the biotech because it's also in the name, in the full name, right, on the I-20. So you can go with biotech. It's fine. Whatever you go with, it still doesn't really, it wouldn't cause any problem. Okay, once the visa officer hears biotechnology, and then on the I-20 is professional science, masters, biomanufacturing, and biotechnology. Yeah, it's the same thing. Biotechnology is still there. Okay, so don't worry about that. Uni says, "Hi, Shai, I have a sister in the US. She's a permanent resident." Well, it's not a problem, right? It depends on, especially if you have funding, you don't have to think about these things at all. How will you advise her go about the question? Do I have a relative? I'm now after I'm telling you that it's not a problem. He asking me, how do you go about it? It's like you telling me, should I lie? I can't tell you that. Okay, I can't tell you to go and lie. Okay, please. Because you are saying, okay, because I heard they are rejecting people with relatives in the US. Please, when it comes to things like this, I can't advise you to go and lie. When it comes to, no, please don't tell me, don't tempt me. Don't tempt you to tell you to get a lie. Michael Amuzi says, I traveled to the UK to visit my brothers, and they decided to take me on a tour in the US. But I got refused because I didn't have enough ties. But fortunately, I applied to school and got admission. Any tips for me? Well, if you had funding, that is going to help you, right? Also, where are you currently? Are you back to your home country, or you're still in the UK? Right? The fact that you've been to the UK should help you in a way. If you can show why you need a program, if you are very clear about some of these things, yeah, you'll be fine. Okay. So I really appreciate your time. We are going to end it here. I don't think there is any more question. Students will not come and ask questions, and then they'll be chasing me on TikTok with all kinds of questions. And they don't understand that I have only 24 hours. Even if I had like 100 hours a day, with the kind of questions I have and the kind of answers that students want, it will still not be enough for me. That's what I want students to understand. But if you join the live session and you have your questions, I can give you detailed answers. So uh thanks so much. I really appreciate your time. Those of you going for a recent interview, good luck to you. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye for now.